Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 1 to What If Naruto Was a Saiyan. So, for part 2, let's get this episode to 150 likes. Now, if you guys are actually interested, I do have a gaming channel. I'll leave a link to that in the description, and I'll probably put a little pin up to the right. So now, let's jump right into the what if. So, for this to happen, I'm legit just gonna have to pull a stick out of my ass because it's not possible. It's just some kid is born with both ki, chakra, has a tail, and happens to be an alien race. So, with that out of the way, let's just begin. So, Hiruzen, the third Hokage, notices that as Naruto's growing up, if something really pisses him off, he gets like bursts of like explosive power, which absolutely demolish anybody under Jonin level, pretty much. So, Naruto has a relatively peaceful life up until one fateful night when Naruto looks to the full moon. Seconds later, his eyes turn red and his chest starts to grow bigger and his grows hair all over his body. Naruto's size, now easily 10 times what it originally was, and it takes 10 Jonin level fighters to actually subdue him, and then they figure out, oh, we just had to cut off his tail. So they cut off his tail, and they do some weird sealing thingy mabobber with it so it can't grow back, and boom, bang, shalang, Naruto is good. So, when Naruto is now, or he grows up, and people are less afraid of him, or they're insanely afraid of him just because they think that that's just because he was a monster. They don't think it's anything to do with, like, oh, we just had to cut off his tail and it'll all be good. No, they just think like he can do that and he has control over when he does it. So when Naruto's graduating 12 years later, he is a lot stronger physically than he was because he's a Saiyan and he would want more training and to fight stronger people. So he'd be like a lot stronger. So he ends up getting placed on a team with Sasuke and Sakura, and they end up meeting Kakashi. Obviously late because Kakashi's always late. And they do their introductions. Sasuke still just, wants to kill his brother, and Sakura is like, oh, Sasuke, kind of a thingy mabobber majigger. But what Naruto wants is just to become the strongest there ever was. He doesn't necessarily want to lead anything. He doesn't want really to become the Hokage. That doesn't really seem that nice to him. He literally just wants to become insanely powerful. That's his like one goal. He just wants to be the strongest there ever was. So the bell test is going to begin the next day, and they all meet in the morning, and Kakashi starts counting down from 3 once he arrives. And now, when he does finish counting down and he yells go, the only two... Oh my god, I legit can't talk today because my voice is badness. So the only people, or the only person, rather, Saiyan? I'm not sure. The only Saiyan, I don't know if I'd consider Naruto a person anymore. Or he is, but it's weird. So, Naruto just ends up staying in the actual, like, right in front of Kakashi. He doesn't actually go hide. So, when he does that, he begins to fight Kakashi. And Kakashi, noticing, like, instantly when fighting him, he is much stronger than any other genin he's ever fought. And he puts away his book, and Naruto's getting wrecked because Naruto isn't, he's not that powerful yet. But as they continue their fight, Naruto is slowly adapting to the speed that Kakashi has, and Kakashi notices that Naruto is growing at a very, very rapid rate when he's fighting. And Kakashi's like kind of worried about this because Naruto isn't like too far below him. He's like Kakashi's using probably like 50-60% of his power against Naruto, minus the Sharingan obviously. So he's just thinking, it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to end this quick, and he tries to do a quick neck chop to knock Naruto out and just go fight the other two, but he notices that Naruto just kind of blocked this, and then then Naruto looks up, and Naruto backs up for a second, and he's just like, I can be stronger. As Naruto starts screaming, ah! and his power rises exponentially. he doesn't transform into anything. He just powered up with his ki or something. I don't know. And now he charges back at Kakashi, outspeeding Kakashi in the process. Kakashi then has to use his Sharingan because he can't react to what Naruto's doing, and he's trying to figure out how he can actually beat Naruto at this rate, because Naruto is pretty much at the level of Kakashi right now, and he's growing at a rapid rate. So, Naruto is charging at Kakashi now. Kakashi is just going to be like, okay, I'm going to block his punch, and then I'm going to like go full strength, and I'm just going to knock him out. And when he does try to do this, Naruto slams his fist into Kakashi's hand, and it doesn't work for Kakashi. His hand just kind of gets deflected out of the way, and the fist continues on, punching him square in the chest, as he gets sent back flying into a nearby tree. Kakashi, now realizing that he probably can't actually win this fight, he decides that, okay, fine, I'm just gonna pass them because they're too strong for me, or this one is too strong for me, even though they didn't really use teamwork. So, they end up doing all of their de-rank missions after they get promoted to Genin. And obviously they get very bored of these missions very quickly. So they go to Hiruzen and ask for a higher rank mission, and Hiruzen reluctantly agrees and gives them a mission to escort a bridge builder named Tazuna back to his home village to build a bridge. So they do that, and they're walking down the pathway, and Kakashi is the only one that notices the puddle because Naruto isn't that smart and nobody else did in the original, so why would they know? I don't really know. So Kakashi's the only one that notices the puddle. But when the Chunin brothers seemingly kill Kakashi, Naruto's the one to react. And what Naruto does is seemingly, like, Sasuke or Sakura couldn't even see what he did. The two Chunin brothers were on the ground with bleeding, and Naruto was standing above them. Nobody really knows what Naruto did, except Kakashi, who was watching from a distance, and he saw that what Naruto actually did was he grabbed their faces, and these balls of what Kakashi thought were chakra, but were actually ki, pulsated from Naruto's hands as he like completely burnt them to a crisp, and then he dropped them to the ground. Everybody noticed that the two Chunin were literally smoking by the face, but nobody really was like, oh, Naruto's really strong, but because they don't think they're that strong. But Naruto is really freaking powerful in this. So they end up going a little bit farther, and there's a mist that rolls overhead. There's a lot of bloodlust in the mist, and Kakashi even notices that there's chakra in it. And this is when a sword flies overhead, and Naruto yells a duck because Kakashi yells duck because obviously he doesn't want anybody to be decapitated today. So Zabuza jumps on top of his sword, and he starts fighting with Kakashi. And they're swapping blows for a little bit until Kakashi ends up getting trapped inside of a water prison. Now, instead of like what happens in the original, Naruto just kinda dashes over there, and instantly, Zabuza notices that the speed that Naruto has is unlike really anything he's ever seen before. It's even faster than what Kakashi was doing. And he's like, okay, well, you can't just beat me with speed, though. And he goes to block what Naruto's punch, and before his eyes, Naruto's fist just seems to be somewhere else. It's below where his hand was trying to block, and pretty much inside of his gut. Like, it literally pierced through part of his gut, and blood spewed out. He didn't kill him. He didn't completely pierce through, but his hand slightly penetrated Zabuza. Now, Kakashi says, okay, I'll fight him again, because he doesn't want Naruto to be fighting. He knows Naruto could probably win, but he wants this to himself. So he uses a Sharingan, and he completely dicks on Zabuza. So that's what happens, and now they end up going back to Tazuna's house. And this is where they begin their training for their walking on trees. But obviously that one, I don't think that'd go any different, because Naruto is a different race. Like, the Saiyans are like natural, not necessarily prodigies, but they kind of are. in a way. So I'm gonna say he learns it a little bit quicker, like not at the same degree that like Sakura did, but like about 30% faster than he did in the original, I'll say. So they all end up heading to the bridge, and this is where they encounter Haku and Zabuza for the second time. So Sasuke, thinking he wants his chance in the fight, goes and he fights Haku. And Kakashi goes off and he fights Zabuza. Naruto is guarding the bridge builder up until where Sasuke gets trapped inside of the ice prison. Or demonic ice mirrors, whatever the heck they're called. Naruto, now realizing he has to go over there to help, he ends up going over there to help. So when he does this, he just kind of stands in the middle. And he's kind of just like punching the mirrors for a while because he hasn't really learned what this was until Sasuke tells Naruto what's happening, and Naruto's now trying to focus on looking at where Haku's going back and forth, but he can't see anything yet. But as the moments go on, Naruto's seeing slight blurs of where Haku's going, and this clears, like, his vision clears as this goes on, and he can pretty clearly see Haku by the end of this. And so Naruto then looks over and he decides, oh well, I'm just gonna destroy him right now. And when he does this, Sasuke is finally awakening his Sharingan and finally being able to like actually see this kind of happening. And this is where Naruto punches him in the square in the jaw, sending him flying straight through one of the mirrors. And Naruto now kind of just casually walks out. It's like, okay, time to end this kid. And Naruto kind of does a similar thing that he did to the Chunin. There's this ball of ki that appears in his hand, and he shoots a blast at Haku. But right as the blast is about to hit, Haku disappears from Naruto's vision, and he turns to where Kakashi was, and Haku just put himself in front of Zabuza as he was about to get killed. So Haku is dead, and Zabuza's on the verge of dying up until where the little gang leader dude comes in, and that same scene happens where Naruto gives him his kunai, and, you know, bad things happen. Not so kid-friendly Zabuza, so, yeah. So they all end up heading back to the village after their successful mission. I think you would consider that successful, at least. And this is where, after a few weeks of doing their training and doing odd jobs, because they don't really have any missions to go on, so what are they going to do? And Kakashi walks up to them and says, you guys should join the Chunin exams. So that's where I'm going to leave off this part of What If Naruto Was a Saiyan, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace out.